blah blah Pokemon science, blah 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 evolution, blah 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 Mew meme. Ah, you're finally awake.
Who am I? What am I?
You are Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. You are a remake of the first ever Pokemon movie.
Pokemon? Mewtwo? Remake? I don't understand.
Allow me to explain the facility you're in. You're in a cloning secret laboratory, and we've been cloning some popular franchises by remaking them. We consider them as an artistic experiment.
Then what's the difference between the first movie and me?
Well, we turn you into a 3D anime movie.
And?
That's about far as I got. The rest are just minor differences.
That's it? That is it? That's all you put in me? Am I nothing but a copycat?
We were hoping we would play safe.
What am I? Who am I? Am I just a clone? And I'm supposed to be someone's shadow?
Perhaps I can find an answer.
How did you survive my blast?
I hid under the Miltank milk cellar before all this happened.
You said you might have an answer to my existence.
Well, to put it briefly, you're based on a popular video game franchise. No matter if you're a huge Pokemon fan or not, you know it's a phenomenal franchise in terms of video games, toys, trading cards, and even anime series and movies. But in 2019, while many remember that was the year for the Detective Pikachu movie, another Pokemon movie was thrown into the arena as an original Netflix movie. And by original, I mean a CGI remake of the first Pokemon movie, Pokemon the first movie. By itself, it was a financial hit at the box office during its time, but critics weren't fanboying about it.
And what's your take on this? What did you think of my parent movie?
Well, I liked it fine. I didn't consider it groundbreaking. I was more attached to the third movie and the Lucario movie.
If I'm going to understand my purpose in this world, I request you to talk about my movie. I don't care what flaws are in me. I must find an answer.
Okay, you've been warned. This is Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It opens in a secret laboratory where a group of scientists found a Pokemon fossil of the legendary Pokemon Mew. They decide to reincarnate the fossil and clone it to the most powerful Pokemon in the world, Mewtwo. Feeling confused about himself and the people he encounters, he plots a scheme to take revenge on humanity by having a bunch of trainers, including Ash and Pikachu, to have a battle against his clone Pokemon and form an army of stronger clone versions of themselves. If you are familiar with the series, this is something you'll have a blast with it. An origin story about Mewtwo, the concept of cloning, and the iconic fight scenes in the franchise. However, there's still something off that doesn't make this remake stand out. Copying the same movie but with small differences. Because of it, it forgot to fix some of the problems that were addressed in the original, like not welcoming newcomers to the world of Pokemon, the characters we are supposed to travel, and still acting like an extended episode of the cartoon but just making it into a CGI movie. Give Pokemon Detective Pikachu some credit, it found a way to be both welcoming to newcomers and nostalgic to fans because of its world building and making the Pokemons the real stars of the film. Some difference they put in are okay, like how Ash in the game made it to Mewtwo's Island, and he gets a cool looking armor. But other than that, there's nothing much to it. No matter if you watch these movies back to back, it's still a predictable film. Another critique I had to give out is the anti-violence message that it's trying to convey, which was considered one of the heavy criticisms of the first movie. I know what it's trying to say, and to be fair, they made some revisions to the PSA by explaining the clone Pokemon are still breathing and living creatures like their original counterparts. But they keep dragging on that fighting is wrong with everybody losing, and they need to be reminded that it's pretty much the entire point of the whole series, and they're still doing it.
You seem to know so much about Pokemon. How is it concerning to you if you know about the games in the show?
Well, yeah, but just because I know about Pokemon and the show it's based off, it doesn't mean the whole world knows about it. Literally, any additional feature would have worked here. A recap of the first season, an additional side plot, or even have tie-ins to the main games like Red and Blue.
But if I'm based on a popular franchise, surely people will enjoy the Pokemon that exist in my movie.
Well, you're not wrong. Pokemon are considered the real stars of the Pokemon movies, but they need to work on the people they join or encounter. The reason why the movie still feels like an extended episode like its parent movie is that it brought back your favorite characters from the show but forgot to introduce people who haven't seen the anime series. They're trying to tell you that Ash is the trainer that wants to be a Pokemon master with his partner Pikachu, Misty is the female of the group with a cute little Togepi, and Brock is the Johnny Bravo of the group that wants to go out with an attractive woman like Nurse Joy, a Pokemon doctor who was held captive by Mewtwo. On their journey, they encountered a bunch of regular trainers just as plastic as their 3D models, and an evil group called Team Rocket, consisting of Jesse, James, and a talking Meowth who plans to steal Pikachu and other Pokemon for their boss Giovanni, the man who trained Mewtwo into concealing his powers while still using it to capture more Pokemon. The only character who is still considered the best of the main cast, like in the original, is Mewtwo. They still capture his mystical look, there's developments about him being made by humans, and question on figuring out who he is, why was he created as a clone version of Mew. And technically, you can also count Mew as a three-dimensional character since it does have a playful personality and carries some mystery as a legendary Pokemon. You can get away with a lackluster story in a video game because in a video game, you control the story because you're in charge of it. But in a movie based off a video game, you don't have that power. That relies on the people who make it. You're just a viewer.
Well, can you at least tell me my visuals are pleasing?
Yeah, you're pretty good.
The only thing that Evolution really updated from the first movie is the animation. Instead of 2D anime like we've seen on the show, it's computer generated. And to its credit, it looks pretty good. Many of the backgrounds, especially New Island, are well detailed with some nice textures and making the environments they're in feel lifelike like grass and water. Even the Pokemon designs capture the look of the show with some great special effects from Charizard's flamethrower and Mewtwo's telekinetic powers. The only issue I have with the animation are the designs of the humans. The movie tried its best to make it more like the characters from the anime series, but the way they are generated, they feel more like plastic dolls than people. Also, it has a few instances where some of the lip syncing needs better dubbing. With the character animation, I wouldn't consider the movement cinematic, but the action scenes are fun to watch no matter which Pokemon are in the battlefield. There were even some enjoyable flying scenes like the Charizard battle and the duel between Mewtwo and Mew. If my animation is a spectacle to behold, perhaps it can make up for the disjointed story implemented inside of me.
But just because you're visually beautiful, it doesn't make up for everything in the movie, because the story is equally important as the visuals. Some could argue that the story is the core of making the movie, because without it, you're really not missing anything in this Pokemon remake. Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is a forgettable remake whose only purpose is to clone the first movie of the series. Well, the animation looks nice, but it still feels like an extended episode even if it's computer generated. The characters are flat, both their development and looks, along with a predictable story. Like the first movie, this is only meant for fans of the Pokemon franchise. But to be honest, I would rather watch the 2D anime version. Sure, it's not great, but it was simplistic enough to be a Pokemon movie. If this CGI movie plans on cloning the other movies, then it's going to a battle that it will fittingly lose. I'm gonna give Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution a C.
Wait, what do you mean cloning the other movies?
Oh yeah, in the mid-credits scene, there's a scene where it's supposed to tell us where Mewtwo is at, supposedly foreshadowing the other Mewtwo movie.
Then, I'm only here just to produce more clones? How is this better? I can't understand any of this. I just can't understand!
I think I know the answer. We don't need a Pokemon Cinematic Universe.
What?
Because there is another one. Well, after the success of the Detective Pikachu movie, the makers were in consideration of making a shared cinematic universe. So it's not just a sequel to Pokemon Detective Pikachu, it's not going to be an adaptation of the anime series, but the possibility of adapting the other Pokemon video games, including the spin-offs or even the main games, Red and Blue, Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger, just to name a few. Meaning that you can make some original Pokemon stories that you like as long as it's faithful to the source material.
Now I see. Even though I'm just meant to please the Pokemon fandom, the world can still have a chance to make something new and fresh out of it. I don't have to judge myself based on my own existence, but my choices in life. This really was an artistic experiment. Thank you, strange-looking individual.
Huh. I'm Mad Hair Patrick. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna do some Rhyhorn racing.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review and other project every week. I'll see you soon.